Welcome back, everyone. The Minot Hot Tots will share Corbett Field with a roommate next summer. Northwoods League Softball, the first for-profit summer college softball team league in the country, announced this morning that Minot will host one of its teams. Minot is the third city the league has chosen, including La Crosse, Wisconsin, and Mankato, Minnesota. Corbett Field will utilize a portable outfield fence, shorter base paths, and a removable pitcher's mound to conform the turf to the rules of softball.
Northwoods League Softball, and specifically the Minot softball team, will create opportunities for highly competitive collegiate female athletes, for sports fans in Minot to see high-level competition right in their backyard, but maybe even more importantly, it will create an opportunity for young women in Minot to watch women excel in sports at an extremely high level, just as their brothers were able to do with the Hot Tots this last summer.
Now, the 40-game schedule begins in June and will run through early August. Hocking added that most games will be played at night. Submissions are open for the team's name. You can find a link in this story on our website.
We're so excited to provide this opportunity for talented players, but also coaches, umpires, and then the front office, the interns, everybody that puts their hands on the Northwoods League team. It's something that really thrills us, and we're excited to get to do in Minot through Northwoods League Softball.